That's good.
Maybe I see.
1, 2, 3. You just turned it off?
Yes, you turned it off. All right. Golly. Wake up, baby. It's nighttime.
Testing. Testing. Is it supposed to do something?
Yeah, I'm not sure you turned it on because it's
The
not.
blue light's on. There's no eyeballs. They're not looking.
Oh, you know what, maybe. We're not. There you go.
Should I see?
Cannot start the video.
Yeah, it's not.
Forget the video. As long as we have audio, that's better than
Okay.
nothing. Can anybody hear me out there?
I got you.
Wonderful.
That's Jason.
Jason.
Great, thank you. So this is First Selectman Stephen Everett, and I'm calling the regular meeting and budget workshop motions, Columbia Board of Selectmen to order Tuesday, March 1st, year 2022. We are commencing at 7:24. So, rules of conduct. Don't step out of line. We're going to unplug the owl. Thank you. Pledge of allegiance, please, all of us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I know this is a convenient way for people who can't get to the meetings to be able to tune into the meeting, but I gotta tell you, I'm ready to have everybody to come in. Approval of the agenda, motion to approve the agenda for the regular meeting and the budget workshop posted here. If anybody doesn't see something, they want to throw something out there, wait for board member comments. Nothing will be voted on, but certainly we would take a comment. But other than that, I don't think there's anything. Anybody, discussion? All those in favor of approval? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Approval of the minutes, Board of Selectmen. I make a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen regular meeting minutes for February 15th, 2022. Question. Anybody? Any discussion, concerns? Great, all those in favor? Aye. Abstain? Abstain. Thank you, Bill. Audience of citizens. Yes,
Need to stand?
excuse me?
Stand? Do I have to stand?
No, you don't have to. I mean, we're,
20, Joan Hill, 23 Cardsville Road. So I'm here to bring up the issue of the condition of the History Place. It's a small building just across the street, for those of you who don't know what it is. And it's owned by the town, but it's currently the repository or being used by the town historian and the Columbia Historical Society for their archival collection. And that basically is a lot of paper items. They're all one of a kind, letters, diaries, photographs, things that if they're damaged, there's no replacing them. And we've had recurrent problems over there with both water and rodent issues. So a lot of the water issues that happened in this year, luckily just missed items that could have been damaged. And they were both largely the result of human error. And those are not the ones I'm talking about. They're being addressed. The town is wonderful at coming in after something has happened, but preventive measures have not been taken. And I've talked to DPW and Mark for about 5 years now about the very same problems. There are holes in the wooden sockets on the outside, this big, rodents come and go. There's holes and cracks in the masonry foundation, which is an above ground foundation, as well as below ground. Again, letting in rodents, letting in water, making the foundation weaker and weaker as those cracks are spreading. And again, the flooding issues, there's a real need for a footing drain around the building to divert the water that's leaking through that wall into the basement. So I saw these listed items on this federal spending project, and I saw like 10 of them on DPW time. And that's been the problem, is they say, sure, we see these problems, we'll get to it, and then, pickleball court or fixing up the conference room, or, other things take away their staff time and money. So I'm just asking you, please prioritize this work. It's not that much work. And if you want DPW to work on these other things, then just hire a professional mason or restorative carpenter to come in and do the work. It's not really that big a thing, and we need preventive care. We don't want to get things fixed after the mice have eaten the records or put their droppings in our file cabinet, or water's come through and soaked into things that are near the floor. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. No. Thank you for your comment. Jason, are you on the line?
He knows about it.
I am.
Great.
Yep.
Do me a favor,
So,
within the, if Joan is available, meet her over there. If I need to be there to walk through it also, I'd like to get a list of the concerns that she has, and I'd like to get a plan to see what we can do to take care of those things, okay?
Okay.
All right, and on a timetable, when you get it to me, I'll put forth the action to make sure we get what we can done, okay?
Sounds great.
Great, Joan,
Thank
thank
you.
you. You don't bring it to our attention,
Well,
I don't know
figured-
about it.
I figure the buck stops here. I've tried
Great.
everyone else in town.
Yeah, I'm down to pennies, but I'll do what I can for you.
In the short term, is there another location that we can store some of these
I
artifacts or
am now
something?
moving some things into a space that's been given to us in the old firehouse,
Okay, fine.
but those are not the archival. We need a climate, this is particular temperature and humidity, and when that building was fixed up for us, they tried to do that. But again, these water issues are nothing with humidity in the air,
Is it a stone basement, stone foundation?
It is a stone foundation, it's a walkout basement on the back. So, we have windows on one side and the rest is against the soil in the front.
Okay. Just not to nitpick in the future, just make sure we go through proper channel. I don't care if we ask questions, but just make sure for the record, we'd like to ask some questions to the subject matter expert, okay? People call me on that too. I don't want a tight meeting. But thank you for your comments. Anybody else?
So you're coming in 11.
All right, thank you. Old business. Well, I guess we're going right through the budget, right? Right off the bat. Great. So tonight, we're gonna run a little budget. We're gonna get this to 5-pack. So our paperwork is in here. Now, what you're gonna see, and here was my hopes. I've been working with Bev, or listening to Bev, taking Bev's guidance and her knowledge on what's going on with the budget and everything. Columbia is financially in pretty good shape. We have things that we need to do, and we have basically 3 buckets to work from. That is certainly the town revenues and what our budget usually is. Our revenues and expenditures. And then we have the American Rescue money that's coming in, which is basically allowing us to make a couple of purchases and do some things to kind of set us in a good framework financially for, I hope, the next 10 years, by being able to budget and set money aside for items that need to be replaced or purchased or looked at within the next 10 years. And then the final thing is, still financially and fiscally, our general fund is pretty healthy. So in looking at that, I was hoping to be able to spend some money from the general fund. I think it's healthy enough that we can spend some money and therefore continue to help the budgeting for the next 10 years, so we don't have large tax increases and stuff. But even looking at that, there are some things there that I'm gonna throw it out there to us to make recommendations to 5-pack on some of the things that we may want to put money aside for or budget for, because we do have a very healthy year. 2020 or 21, 22 has been good to Columbia. And in light of this pandemic, we don't rely on a lot of different things that other places do, and we take care of our own. So we're still thankfully very healthy with our revenues, and our grant list has grown a little bit. Development has come in. We've gotten some commercial stuff that's helped us out. So in going through this, ask your questions, take a look at the numbers, know that we make a recommendation to 5PAC on what we would like. We have a very good rapport with the Board of Education. We have a good rapport with 5PAC, and the cleaner we put our budget to them, the better off we all get along with it. So in saying that, you'll see some numbers here. People have different directors of their, or department heads have brought concerns. We want to attract people to fill holes where we have them, mostly Department of Public Works. But we also want to keep the good people that we have. So you will see some salary increases for different people to be able to bring them to the level they should be at, or equal to other positions of their like. But also those who are important to the running of the town and have shown that they need to be appropriately taken care of with maybe a monetary raise, but also an appreciation for the hard work that they do. But I will tell you, they're more in line still. Whatever you see is in line or below other places of our size. But we bring other qualities too with our employment here. We try to take care of people, we try to treat them right, we try to pay them fairly, and we listen to them, and it's a good place to be and a good place to work. So ask those questions when you see it. Revenues have been good, collection, like I said. I think we're in great shape, I really do. So going from there,
What's the increase from last year?
you want to just jump right to the increase? 7.5%.
10.74. 340,000. Yes.
Because it all, there isn't much change from what we've seen in the past couple weeks.
So
A little bit.
the only change that really came in the last week was I went through the fuel lines.
Okay.
Probably still a little low, but we were basically budgeting at not this year, but last year's price of 2.15, 2.16. So I put all the fuel at $3 a gallon.
Okay.
Because
there's
the
an increase
last-
there.
Estimate or quote I got was that it was at like 2.82. So we haven't locked in. We're hoping that, things come back down. So I put in $3 as a trying to be a little optimistic.
But I also think in the world's environment, I hope that one country comes to its senses and the world kind of slows down a little bit. And I also hope that maybe in what has happened, we look back at what the administration has done with the pipeline and stuff, and maybe they'll hopefully open up the pipeline again. I don't know, but we're not locking it in. We have some time. And also to lock in the winter time when the northern hemisphere is what's at war and they're in their coldest time, but heading toward the spring. I think we may see some movement, hopefully down a little bit. It won't be a lot, but we have time.
So
Correct.
the increases have been the salaries and
Salaries, there's benefits.
Insurance.
Insurance, that's what I went through this past week, was making sure the benefits, like the FICA tax law, kind of go with the salary increases. I did review the health insurance, that's still at 8% right now. But just trying to tweak those numbers. Definitely looked at electricity, fuel lines, and made adjustments. There was a couple other, like getting the phone, one line I had to adjust to make it a little more actual and close to it. So I kind of went through the whole thing and just first go around to get ready for tonight, and then see what else needs a little tweaking, so.
So you want to go through them? The executive and general administrative services, you got a 9% increase. Most of that is salaries and group insurance, and then the fuel line. Salaries, we talked about that last meeting. And we discussed it, we took a look at it, and so none of these numbers should really be a surprise to you, all right? There is we're awaiting some. In one of the areas, we bumped up to a full-time, but we have yet to hear, social, yes, we bumped social worker up to a full-time position. We have, yet to solidify if they're going to take it or what our action will be if we have to go in a different route. But the position is funded for full
She
time.
did say, she did say she'd take it.
I'm glad she's telling you, Judy.
Well, it's like she told Mark
Okay,
at
I'll
the
check
last
with Mark.
meeting that we had.
All right.
But anyways.
Conflict there, but no.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Thank you. I'm gonna make a note of that. Okay, on the side. Need more paper. So there's not a lot of supply expenditure or different things in there. It's salary, insurance, and fuel in that area. Any questions there?
So the only question, and again, I sat in that meeting we had, and I guess when I looked at the totality, I guess from a percentage increase in total, it was a little higher than I guess I had thought, but I'm not going against what we had talked about. I was just kind of like sticker shock when I saw how much of the increase in total, is just the salary piece. So that's probably be a difficult conversation we have with FIPAC.
Some of that came about because there was some salary adjustments done this year based on some salary surveys. So you take last year's budget, you have to add in a bump on certain department, and then the increases put, it's gonna make a big impact.
This is always, if IPAC says no way, then we'll be back at the drawing board. Town maintenance facility. These are small areas, so Chapel on the Green, nothing, History Place, we're looking into it. But that'll come out of capital. Judicial, Register of Voters, assessment, we're okay. Tax collection, it's really, we got a little bit of transportation. She deserves to be paid if she's using her own vehicle. It's a little bit there. Salary is the most part. Wages and salaries for town clerk is right on the line there. Things like dues and licenses and stuff like that, and professional improvement for our people, it's really tough to scratch those out. That is their ability to do the job. Financial planning, that's nothing. Finance department, salary, professional dues, can't take that from them. Postage, finance department, it's up $1,000. Why is that? What did she say?
Minus for postage,
Yeah,
it's
for
like,
postage, what is that for?
there's an increase coming up in the postage plus supplies.
Okay. Yeah. Board assessment of appeals, same thing. Healthcare inspection, that was actually moved to a different area, correct? Eastern Highlands? No, we just decreased it. Okay.
That stays there.
Yeah, social services, that's why you see a large jump there. We were asked to take a look at a 3-day to a 5-day full-time position. Elderly services, you're gonna see fuel be a lot. Fuel's a big one there, $2,500. You have some salaries there. We talked about that. Becker's Senior Center. That's a lot.
Salaries and wages and senior
Over
transportation.
there, she's at a higher pay rate than Margaret.
You know, how much higher?
It's $7.
Dear God. Um,
So the salary for the Becker senior center?
yeah, we gave,
Are we
Right.
adding more drivers?
Well, we don't want to get too
yeah, we don't want.
detailed on that.
So what happened was, I just asked about it, the person that we replaced over there went over at a higher per hourly rate.
Oh. Okay.
No,
Are you
Much higher.
talking transportation? or-
Yes.
Transportation.
transportation. It's all bundled in, it will be. Youth services, police protection's the same.
Plus the person that was moved from assessment, moved into the senior center as an extra day too, so that's another.
Yeah. You'll see a lot in firefighting, we've gone through that, grants and subsidies. They've brought their plan to us, we looked at it. Any questions on that one? Okay. Emergency Services Director, good. Lake Management. That's Marine Patrol, gate monitoring. Public Works, there's a lot of people in Public Works, you're gonna see salary there, that's,
Right.
but still. Professional Tech, did we move that over to Jason's area, is that what that is? Did it drop 71%, 5,000?
She moved something off there.
Okay, good, so that's all right.
Let me see if I can
Fuel, there's a heavy cost for fuel over there, again, we went high, hoping it comes down. Last thing I wanna do is to go to 5-pack in September and ask for 10 grand for more fuel, and just start. Waste disposal, we're under contract, nothing we can really do there. Contracts, the people working down there, we finally found a third person that's gonna fulfill that spot. Planning and zoning, inland wetlands,
Yeah, that was the, part of it was the tennis court maintenance. We moved it.
yes.
We moved it out of the budget.
Inland wetlands, we went up by 5 hours on the inland wetland agent.
Okay.
You know, in the last 3 weeks, there's been 4 major inland wetlands things that have been brought up. And they're pretty hot items and stuff, so, you know, she wasn't wasn't able to. And when we sat down and talked to her, 5 hours more on top of her 10, we thought it was prudent to be able to, we're growing. And wetlands is a big issue now, so it continues to be a big issue. And if something happens, then we're all, you know, in a bad way with our lake and waters, and not only publicly, but certainly with the state, there could be some trouble, I don't need it. Building inspections, maintenance. This is one area where we brought one person up to his contemporaries. So you see larger increase there. Conservation, zoning appeals, building, land use department. Same thing there, contracted services. $6 grand, that's the program we're buying, the computer program we're buying.
That I'm not too sure.
I mean, that's an area down there, when I get a call on a Sunday night and somebody asks me about their permit, that's 3 weeks behind or 4 weeks behind, you know, we're getting them the computer software to be able to work the system and move it in a very concise and timely fashion.
It's a good idea.
This was something we did last year, so I don't know what that $6 grand is.
Very nice.
We'll look at that. Celebrations. We're not taking away the 4th of July parade, lake management. Oh, just so you know, Jim Blair is going to be the liaison between the Lions and the town. He's taking over for Dean and Dean's passing. I told him he had big shoes to fill, and he knew it, so. Library services, increased library, lake management. Beach services, we talked about that, salaries. Yeah, I think we went up, minimum wage went up, so we went up accordingly for lifeguards and stuff like that. I mean, you know,
Don't have any choice.
we knew it was gonna happen. So general supplies for rec areas, we had a little bit of money, but
That's the mulch that was taken from public works.
okay, that's what it was. Recreation. So total board of selectmen came in at 7.74. Board of Ed, we'll wait to see what they come in at. As much as I hate to say it, but you know, these things happen, people have to be treated fairly, and we need to keep good people, so the bottom line is, and I don't think we're exorbitant. I really don't.
No, but you're gonna lose people if you don't increase their wages.
Yeah, we just lost somebody from one department who moved to a larger operation and a better opportunity for the future.
Yeah.
You know, and they got paid a little bit, a lot more money. So,
Well, one of the things I was looking at is that because we don't have a debt to service anymore, which was 152.
Yep.
That leaves the real increase, if you took that out, at like 188. Am I doing that math right, or is that factored in already?
no,
No, that is.
So, you know, so that just leaves you with, and then we have the increase in the grand list,
right now,
so
yeah.
it's not as horrifying as.
No, it's, you know, I'll tell you, every year we do this, and every year we go and we ask 5PAC, you know, take X amount of dollars, probably 1 mil or something like that, from the general fund, and wipe out some of the expenditures we're gonna have for the upcoming year. Well, we are about 4.1 right now in the general fund.
4.1, somewhere between 4.1.
After everything that we took out last year, I said, Beth, please, when you tell me how much we have, don't tell me we have this. Oh, by the way, we have to pay back this. Give me the bottom line. So,
So the arts about, it says 4.5, but we did take 500 out. So
4.1.
we're probably around 4.1, 4.2,
all right,
give or
Which
take.
is over 20%.
well over. So in saying that, it's okay to, if we have to absorb 1 mil in payment, we pay it out. Will it ever catch up to us? Maybe, but the history has been, we've always taken it, paid it out, and then all of a sudden, we do well. The town is a good town. People, thank God, you know, they work and they pay their taxes, and, you know, they want for nothing, but they're appreciative of whatever the town gives them and stuff, and we have a good relationship with the school system, and a good relationship with 5PAC and the library and the volunteer fire department. We just keep that going, and so we will take some of the increase and help offset, hopefully, so we don't have another tax increase. In addition to that, revenues are, we always budget at 97.5. It's 120,000 over already. All right, I think we budgeted like 14.3, it's 14.42. So we're already good on our tax revenues and still working at it.
Yeah.
The grand list has grown. We have a lot of new houses in the area. We have some
Increase in value.
developments that are going in, and so financially, we're good. So when we project or bring this to 5PAC, that's what we're gonna ask you for, to take care of people, move the town forward. ARP money, we're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. But any questions on the budget we're asking to put forward toward 5PAC? Yeah, we'll go through that now. So my hope was to do the things on the ARP list that we're going to discuss for quality of life in the town, as well as take a big ticket item for the Department of Public Works and pay for that. But to also use some of the general fund to maybe do some other things. Well, in saying that, is the forecast for the next 10 years? Yeah. The capital fund, Columbia Volunteer Fire Department has given us a 10, 20-year forecast of what we hope they need. And you'll see that it's pretty steady for a number of years. If we budget and put them on this side, we're able to buy and renew our things, our apparatus, renew our tools, renew our training, renew our gear so our fire people stay safe. And also put them on the best rigs that we can get and do not drive them into the ground and hope they have enough power to get to the scene of a fire. We're always upgrading as time dictates and as the fire department asks us to do, okay? But we're forecasting it out, so we can put a little bit away each year, so we never have a surprise when they say we need an engine 105 in 12 years or 13 years or 20 years, we have the money to give them that engine. So that's all right here. And you'll see in our capital budget, there's some things in there. But one of the big things is $322,000 for fire equipment. That's basically the change from last year's expenditure to this year's expenditure. So we budgeted that in, or we can take 322 out of general for the one-time expenditure. Is that one time on that one? Yeah, for the 1 year.
That's just helping the fund.
That's the 1 year. And keep the capital budget down to about 600,000, 620 or whatever. But in going through that road resurfacing, we do it all the time. The box culvert of 125,000. It's got to be done. We put some away a little bit, and I will continue to do that. Design cost estimated account. We're already putting away for the next reval.
Yes.
God, how they do that. Okay,
So there's
DPW equipment, 13,000. Transfer station, 10,000. Keep that place a little bit safer than what it is down there. We've had a few trip and falls, nothing major, but I don't need anything to happen down there. Facilities equipment, buildings, $20,000 for upkeep. Things pop up, like at the history place. Hop River Road, 55,000. That's in partnership with Coventry. We're putting our portion away for that. Dam, this is new. Last year, we had to take care of some things. One of them was the gate, a couple of things on the gate mechanism. We also did some repairs on the pier. That cost us some money. Of course, you have the hazardous tree removal, and then you have the Columbia Volunteer Fire Department capital projects. And that's in the next page. That's there. So bottom line is putting away for 5 pieces of equipment, 1 squad, 2 engines, a tanker, and a marine. And then capital equipment of rescue tools, hoses, ladders, radios, and tick meters, which is thermal imaging, and gas meters and stuff like that. Now, I will tell you one thing, that we have put in a grant request for the self-contained breathing apparatus. They all need to be replaced over at the fire department. They expire next year. We put in a grant to Congressman Court through the federal grant. I have been in touch with Congressman Courtney. Thankfully, Jen has been able to contact the office and get, knock through the door and get word from Congressman Courtney's office that he has put in a letter of recommendation that we get that grant. Hopefully it carries a little bit of weight, but know this, if it doesn't come through, and they will award it 4 times. This grant will be awarded, as I understand it, 4 different periods throughout next year. So, because we have asked for the grant and they don't expire for some time, we're hoping to be able to get a grant so we don't have to go out and purchase them ourselves. If it goes too long and those things expire, well, we're gonna have to purchase them before they do, right? So that's the way that stands. We actually have another grant request in for one of a forestry, but we have an alternate, less expensive plan should we not get that grant either. Couple other things, the phone system, and we have to make up that 105 is a 70,000 we continue to owe. Yes, no, that's the old truck, I know. This one right here, must be 105.
That's the one, this one to put in the grant? Yes, 3. That's the one they wanted, like, it's an SUV, it's been in and out of the budget
Okay,
numerous times, so they're requesting either, possibly use the general fund just to get it purchased, because it's gonna take a while to order it, or they're looking for American Rescue Funds, because I think it's a piece of equipment they need.
but we'll take a hard look at those using general fund versus American Rescue. It's kind of, I think it's a nice shell game to have. You want to be able to, and it's a transparent shell. I don't want to use it like some kind of, you have some money that we need to use for a lot of different things, safety and recreation, and that's the American Rescue Plan. But I also want to use some of the general fund, so we get it down to a very manageable and be able to make the budget out to 10 years and keep taxes where they are. So it's a good shell game to be able to juggle the money around to see where we'll make it or move it to most appropriately used and be able to get everything that we need and some things that we want. Any questions? A lot of random, I'm sorry. I work on this. Bev and Jen and Mark, we worked on it for a couple of months, and so, questions? Yep.
One question I had, I just want to make sure, because you were talking about, I think, the first page of the capital. So the improvements that are needed for the Department of Public Works, I know the annex is kind of a long term, but you did say there was short term capital in order to address some of the immediate concerns they have down there.
I did not say that.
Okay, I thought that's what you're talking about.
The American Relief Fund's being proposed to put together like a site plan and a site survey down there, just to kind of see.
That's
where
the
everything
20,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought you were.
That's to help
probably
plan for the future, possibly a 4 to 6 bay garage, an annex, see if there's things that down there that needs to be moved so it's more efficient for them, fix the traffic flow.
Okay. But part of that may look at what was.
Yes.
Brought us a concern.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't know the layout of that area down there too well. I don't know what we have to move to be able to put an annex here and a 6 bay garage over here. Of course, there's our environmental concerns down there with the garage. If you have a wash bay, where does the runoff go? That's what we need to get a professional to do, is make sure when we do this, we set it up correctly so they don't go, oh, but your water is going down into the Hop River. That's no good. We don't need any of that problem. So that's why the 20,000, make sure an engineering group takes a look at it.
I just wanted to make sure that some of the work conditions that were brought up, that it's being,
Honestly, if they decide, if 5-pack says we're not going to give you this money for, or we decide not to use any money for the annex and stuff, there's some, if you've never been down there, I would ask Board of Selectmen, go take a look. Why are we asking for this money? That garage down there, there's really no good break room for them to rest in. I rode with the plow the first year I was here. I rode with the plow for 3 hours, and I got to tell you, it's a backbreaking journey. I know it's a nice truck and everything, but man, you got to be on your game all the time. Looking at things and make sure you're safe and stuff. They need a place to have a break when there's a storm and they're on for 24 hours because they're on call for the trees that are hidden and Eversource says, hey, if you clear the tree, we can get to the lines and, you know, they gotta be there. They need a place. They deserve a place to take a break, rest, get some shut-eye, get a meal, get a hot shower if they need
So
to.
they sleep there when they're on,
They kind of probably just hang
yeah,
there.
Those who are close might be able to go home for a short break, but the other ones,
they can't. They,
there's not, the room is too small for them to set cups in. It's basically, I've been there, it's a small room, there's basically a small conference room table. There's, you know, there's a TV and stuff, but it's upstairs and it's just,
Yeah,
it's
Well,
not,
how
it's not
old is the
conducive for
building?
the.
forever.
yeah, so it's built probably good for the
It's-
time, and it's just
yeah.
we've expanded.
It needs some work, it does need some work.
Yeah.
Grades to it.
Okay.
If anything, it needs to be cleaned, the bathroom needs to be upscaled, it needs to be painted, it needs to be, you know, an overhaul. Okay, so yes, we're trying to, if we move forward with the annexation, the whole site survey and engineering has to be
Sounds
done.
like a good idea, you know,
Absolutely.
if it's that old.
Any other questions on the whole entire budget here? Is there anything else we need to go over? Okay.
On the budget, no, I think next would be, if you want to leave it as is, I'm looking at the 6,000, that might be a typo on my part, that I might take out, so that might bring the budget down to 6,000. So if you plan on fixing that and ready a motion to move it on to 5-pack as is, then I'll finalize it and get it ready to go.
So let me just tell the plan, if we decide to move this on to 5-pack and Mark presents, I'll be at his side and Ben will be right here. Okay, and Jen will be kicking me under the table, wake up because, you know, there's something going on here. So the bottom line is, rest assured, when we provide this to 5-pack, we will give them the numbers. We can't tell 5-pack what to do. And what I would like to say is we strongly recommend that this be, you know, a very good foundation for the expenditure and the next year's expenditure for the budget for the town of Columbia. So last year we pulled it back. We weren't comfortable and we made some changes and it sailed right through. This year, I think we've got a very good budget going forward. We're, like I said, we're in a good spot. Any questions, Lisa? Chris? Bill? Judy?
No.
Okay. So I make a motion to approve sending 5-pack the fiscal year 22-23 budget as presented. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. The final of this year's American Rescue funding. So we've already approved 471,459. I need to amend 2 of them, so I'd like to make a motion to approve the increase in budgeted cost to the approved American Rescue Plan projects as follows. Public Works Department mobile and portable radios of $1,800, an increase of $1,800. And I will tell everybody what it's all about. The Columbia Volunteer Fire Department mobile and portable radios of $162. So $162 costs go up. We missed it by 162, it's $162 more. The $1,800, I want a radio in this building. For emergencies, for, I think we should
One
know.
that ties in with the fire department.
Absolutely.
Okay, makes sense to me.
Anything that happens at Department of Public Works, on
You're
job
talking
sites,
about
at
more of a
school.
home station, not just
Yes.
a hand station.
Yes,
Oh,
Okay.
it will have
a
a
base
base,
station, thank you
it
so
will
much.
have a base, but it can be,
It's horrible.
it is portable.
But it's more than just
It's,
a car radio.
yes,
It's, yeah, it's like a walkie-talkie, that long distance walkie-talkie.
but it also has the base, and that's really where.
The base is what costs all the money.
Yeah, well, but I need one here.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, the last thing we need is to hear something going on and we don't know anything about it. We're already trying to strengthen our communications with a couple of different departments.
Mhm.
So, in saying that, any other questions on that? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. So let's discuss what we talked about in our meeting. So I'm gonna just kind of summarize a little bit. There's some things we want to do, no doubt about it, but I did hear some things. Instead of moving forward, and we don't have to talk about, we don't have to pass anything that would happen next year, such as the Ram conservation property walkway, model pond trail and stuff. I will clarify a little bit more of that because I kind of remember it a little bit differently when it was presented to me and passing in the hallway. So, so the things on the bottom, but I would like to move forward in the spring with the Indian Morse School,
Yeah.
the repainting, the telephone system for the fire department, Murphy House bathroom upgrades. That in itself, I asked Mark, I said, don't we have good bathrooms down there? And they're not wide enough for wheelchair accessibility. In
So
terms,
they're not going to be doing the portables? Because haven't they been doing portables for?
there is one portable,
And that's more for when it's closed, is that?
no,
Yes,
it's,
there'll probably still be one down there because we're
Yeah.
after hours.
Okay, so during COVID, they didn't let people go in and use the
right,
Right.
Lake House, Murphy House.
But
Are
it's
they
open.
going to be letting it
Yes.
open
Yes.
next year?
I think so.
with encouragement, they use the portage on, I'm sure. Public Works dump truck replacement, 245,000. Let's talk about that. And then the DPW site survey and site plan. Anything on there people want to discuss? Nope.
Mm-mm.
All right, so I make a motion to approve the proposed ARPA grant funding project as outlined. Moore's Indian School, Columbia Volunteer Fire Department telephone system, Murphy House bathroom upgrades, the dump truck replacement for Public Works, DPW site survey and site plan for $312,955. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. I would also like to like to make a motion, we approve the tennis court project and the additional pickleball court project for 100 to be added at the cost of $120,000.
We
For
don't
that
have
part.
the money right now.
Oh, all right, so we don't want to do that now?
You can wait till you get the next transfer.
Okay,
then
that's
it's
fine
general
then.
fund.
I'm going to rescind my motion. Thank you.
That we might want to discuss, you want to do it from general fund, if you want to get it done in the spring. But wait till
I want to
next
talk to the Department of Public Works. We may have another project for them before they do. So, okay. Thank you. Second round motion to approve the proposed new business, Columbia Lake, nothing, appointments. Appointment of Jason Bellwall for alternate position on zoning board of appeals. Please, you know, Jason,
Yeah. it's
why don't you
great.
talk to us? That's a great guy.
They've gotten really, they live, where do they live? Up 66, there's two the old farms on both, well, the one farm that is on both sides of the road, they're the second house and behind the mansions on the right of them. So there's the three houses that were fairly recently, but they're the one on the right. But the cows, they had cows in the front yard.
They're now in the backyard. Or they're
I
gone.
don't think they're around anymore. I think one of them was named Sirloin, if I remember correctly. They weren't cows. They were-
So he was elected to
And they-
a
they're just
term.
Really good people.
Okay, he was elected to a term that starts next year. Yeah, okay, so we'd like to sit him for the ZBA alternate until his term as a full-time member commences in November. Okay, so I make a motion to appoint Jason. Can I go through the motion? I apologize. I make a motion to appoint Jason Bobo for alternate position on the zoning board of appeals. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Susan Mitchell, I make a motion to appoint Susan Mitchell to the Columbia Conservation and Agricultural Commission. Discussion. I don't think I know Susan. Who knows Susan? Anybody?
Yeah.
Hearing none, hearing none. I'd like to call on Ann to tell us about Susan.
Susan Mitchell is a commercial farmer. She runs a community-supported agriculture business. She, a year ago, purchased the Schuschler Farm
Oh, she's good.
on Route 87.
What's the name of that now?
Clover.
Cloverleaf. Cloverleaf Farm, yeah.
She's really working hard. I've
Yes.
seen a lot, you know, she seems to be working really hard.
Yes, she is. Her business is not new. She rented land in Mansfield and several other places, and she has quite a large concern going. She delivers boxes to Manchester and Thompson's Feed Store in Mansfield, as well as has the pickup here. And she's an organic farmer, so that, you know, she, and not only that, but she's very involved in agricultural advocacy, and she purchased her farm with grants that I'm working.
Yeah, very good.
And
Yeah, we looked at, my wife and I, we just went online
Yep.
and looked at her farm, about joining for that, I don't know, CC Farmers
CSA,
Ag,
CSA.
whatever it is. All I know is you pick up your vegetables and stuff. And
Yeah.
look good. I mean, I drive by there all the time. It seems to be pretty busy on pickup days and
she avails herself of NRCS grants. And so she would be a huge asset, because one of the problems with the Conservation and Agriculture Commission is we need more members, and none of us know anything about agriculture. And that's a
That's
problem.
important.
That's a problem.
So I'm really counting on Susan to educate us.
good, very good.
Thank you.
So motion's on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Thank you. Town administrator's report, Mark? Well, same as every week. No, geez, keep that up. What did I want to bring up? What did I want to bring up? We talked about it. What? No. Okay, correspondence. Columbia Grand List increases in revale. Thank you. Nice piece written. Connor, thank you. So, listen, I'm telling you, I thank you every week. If I don't do it publicly, in my head, I go, man, this guy writes articles about us all the time. And Connor and I speak probably 2, sometimes 3 times a week on interests going on in Columbia. And a lot of times I see it on the front page of the Chronicle. So thank you for putting us up front and center. And I do like your articles, and I'll be honest with you, they are very precise. You put, most of the time, you put exactly what I say.
Which can be unusual.
It has happened where I go, I don't think I said it quite like that. Before you, occasionally, I think I've only said it once with you. So you're doing a hell of a job. Keep it up. And if anything really bothers me, I'll call you. At 1 a.m. I do have your number. Very good. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, budget, no transfers, refunds. Refunds. Okay, I make a motion, what? I'm not giving back that much. Maybe it was some. I make a motion to authorize refunds in the amount of $14,270.52. Just double, sure.
I guess a couple of them were the president paid and then mortgage
And the
company.
mortgage.
paid. Mortgage.
Yep, okay. Very good. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Approval and repayment of bills. I make a motion to pay bills in the amount of $118,496.36, consisting of regular credit card and paycheck.
So I had two questions. One was disc golf baskets.
Yes,
We ever approved disc golf?
yes.
Didn't?
Yep.
And so if I did my math and saw it correctly, you put it in twice, you took it out twice, you put it in a third time, that paid for it.
So, from my understanding, when it got processed, I think there was a duplicate invoice went. And so we got paid twice, we got reversed out and used that card, yes.
And then there's pickleball pads. And granted, it's $40, but do you usually buy things like tennis
Yes.
rackets and?
No, we have pickleball being offered on Thursday night. Starting in 2 nights.
I saw that, yeah.
Pickleball. what?
At the school.
At the school inside.
Oh, get out.
So if you want to see a site, come watch me play pickleball. I probably won't be able to walk Friday morning. My back will be so hurt. That ball doesn't bounce
Oh,
that
see,
high.
there's knee issues. I don't know.
Oh, that ball, I played it out there. The ball does not bounce that high. You really have to get down and.
Yeah, my knee won't do
Yeah, forget about it. Yeah, so
that. My knee goes.
thank you for those questions. Anybody else? All those in favor of paying bills? Aye. Opposed? Great. Audience of citizen. My favorite Columbia.
There's a lot of things. that you said.
Okay. Board of Selectmen.
I have a problem, just couldn't start irritating. With the art money. And first of all, you know, there's a part of me that's bothered by all this grant, because it's really not, it's my grandchildren's taxes, but we'll talk about that another day. Has anybody considered putting in a dog park, like
Yeah.
over at Zenta? Just all you fence and a gate.
And somebody to clean it. And water to be provided and liability and, yeah, we've considered it. And it's not wiped out.
Well, you know,
We've
we do a
considered
lot of things that don't service a lot of people, a lot of people do have jobs.
Yeah, I forgot.
Pardon me?
I had a comment I wanted to make when it comes around to my turn, but I forgot it.
You're right.
We have thought about the dog park and it's not dead yet.
So I know I've been asked by a couple of people.
We all have too.
And planning and zoning is talking about affordable housing. And I just wanted to put a couple things out that I didn't, when they were setting it up and, you know, they're talking about senior housing. And they want to put it down the commercial zone. Well, commercial zones are for commercial.
Yeah.
But you could do multi-use where you have apartments on top and commercial below, like the old main streets all used to be. There's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
And then also keeping taxes low like we do. Probably makes it as affordable as anything else.
Thank you for your comments. Mr. Chris,
Just thank you and everyone in the town for all the hard work and the budget. You know, that's a long drawn out process. Appreciate it.
my favorite time of year.
It's wonderful.
I don't know about that, but it's my favorite. I actually like doing it.
You too.
So,
It's an important
any
time of year.
comments?
You really.
Thank you for your comments. I do. Okay,
It's one of the most important times because people don't want to spend any more money. And it's all the services,
yeah,
but it's numbers,
yeah.
trying to figure out how to balance all those numbers.
Well, that's why I don't know all the answers, but I know where to find them.
Well,
That's why I
that's-
tell people.
And
I remember what I wanted to say. I want to thank, and she's not here, but I want to thank Joan Hill for bringing to our attention
Mhm.
issues with the old meeting place, now the Historical Society place, historic history place. Because if we don't hear about it, we don't know. So the only way we can solve problems or come up with solutions is if we're informed and we know that something's wrong or something is not right. Not everything has to be wrong, but things can be not quite right. So when we hear about it, we want to take care of it. And I speak for the board on that. I don't think we've ever had a request come to us that was, something we didn't know about. And when we looked into it, it was factual. And we went, yeah, but so what? We find solutions. So I thank Joan Hill. And in saying that, nobody else? I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting at 8:24. All those in favor? Aye. Where's my gavel?
What's that?
My gavel.
They made do very
Break the
nice.
car.
What do you mean you didn't record?
I'm not recording.